Let's speak a bit more in detail about working with the report creator. Let's go ahead and invoke the command that's going to bring us into our report creator. So I'm going to go ahead. Remember, this is a standalone application. So you're looking for the one that says report creator, not the one that says plant 3D. So we'll go ahead and start that. Now you'll be brought to this dialog box, and the first thing we need to do is pick the project that we're going to be creating a report for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my demo project. And here I can choose if I want one of these existing projects or reports, or I can go ahead and create a new one. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. And I'm going to create it. We'll go ahead and create a new blank report. So I'll just go ahead and OK that. And I'll leave this as report 1. And then what we'll do here is you always choose if you're going to have one report per project, one report per drawing, or per object. The target here, I'm going to make the target a PDF file. And for my export file path, I'll go ahead and just leave that on my desktop. Okay, so now what we can do is edit the query. And we're going to choose how we want to do this. Do we want the query type to be of P&ID classes, drawings, or plant 3D classes? And I'll go ahead and make this one plant 3D classes, although they all work the same. And I'll go ahead and choose pipe run component here, and I'll bring that pipe run component over here. So whatever you want to include as a class, you can push it this way from this list, or you can take it out. So if I want to put the pipe component back in, maybe I want to add fasteners as well. So now I have pipe component and fasteners. Now you'll see we have different fields here in the next box. And we can use filters to filter out, as well as we have a filter for sorting. So let's go ahead and we're going to go for where it says spec here, or size. And we can use some of the filters that we have. You have some filter examples here. So let's go here and into the spec, and let's see if we can put in one that is not equal. And not equal, this is the sign that you use for not equal. And we're going to say not equal to carbon steel CS150. So we always have to put the single quotes whenever we're using a string. Then we'll go ahead and put 150. And we'll go ahead and hit that. Now, if you do hit something that is not a valid filter, you'll get the message. So let's say that I did this, and I just put in, without putting in the proper nomenclature, it would say this is not a valid filter. So let's go ahead and get rid of that one since it's not valid. And if we test the query result, you see it's going to list everything that is not equal to that carbon steel 150 spec. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some sorting. If we go into the sort order, whichever one you have, you can pick A through Z or 0 through 9 to sort it, or ascending. And then if you click it the other way, you can have it descending order. So those of you, and then go ahead and click it once more, and you can go ahead and clear it, and you won't have a sort order on there. So those are a few things that you can do for our setting up the query configuration whenever you're working with the report creator. Now that we've chosen what we want in the report, let's go ahead and do a little editing of the report itself. We'll go ahead and OK this. And we can give this report a name. I'll just call it piping. And let's go ahead and edit this report layout. So now we can choose the columns that we want to display in our report. And let's just pick some at random that we want to go ahead and include in here. And once you've included what you want to display as columns in your report. Let's go ahead and say next. Now, if you need to add any grouping levels, you may want to add a grouping level here. And once you do a grouping level, you can change the priority of how it's going to appear. You can also take it out if you decide that you don't want that anymore in there. So if you don't need any groups here, you can leave that alone. We'll go ahead next here. You can choose your layout, whether you want it to be in columns, tabular, or justified. And you can also choose if this report is going to be the orientation, it's going to be landscape or portrait. And you can have it automatically adjust field width so that fits on one page. We'll go ahead, hit your next button here, and you can choose what type of style that you want it to be. And you do get a preview of it here. Now we go ahead, we can give a title for the report. And then we say finished. Now it is possible to edit the layout of your report as well. And let's take a look at where you can go to do this. We're going to go ahead into the report configuration. I'm going to use this drop down here. And I'll just go ahead off of 3D fixed length pipes, one that's already in existence. And we'll go ahead and we'll edit that. You'll see here you have a tool here for editing the report layout. Now these can be moved and you can change these. If you wanted this Autodesk logo over here, you could move that. If you want to see what that does, then go ahead to the print preview. You'll see that I moved that over there. You'll see where your quantity is showing up, units, description, nominal diameter, the standard. Going back and comparing that, you can see where these were placed. So if we go ahead and we move Autodesk over here, and maybe you can change that. You can choose to change these. We also have a location of group headers. And anytime you want to check what it is, go ahead and use this print preview here to go ahead and preview any changes that you've made. You have many tools that you can use here. You can experiment with all of these. You can even add in tables or picture boxes. You have many choices to be able to customize this to suit your own needs. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and you can save it. And then you're ready to go with that. So after you have everything done the way that you want it, choose your target, whether it be PDF or if you're going to print it out or any other file that you may choose, or you're going to do one report per project, drawing, or object. And once you've selected those, you can hit OK. And if you want to preview that before you send it out, there it is. And then you can go ahead and choose to do your print or export, whichever one you want. And since you've already identified it, it'll automatically export or print to wherever it is that you want to go. Now, just a couple more items to point out to you. I want to remind you that when you do start another report or you're starting a report, you can go from the existing ones that are suggested to you, as I did in the last example when I went from the fixed length pipe. But remember, if you go to new, you can always choose from an existing report that you may have, and then any existing report that you have will be listed in here whenever you choose that option right there. And if we do go ahead, we're going to go ahead and edit our existing report. We have a report right there. Whenever we edit this, if we edit the layout, you notice that it had this Autodesk logo here. Everyone's going to definitely want their own logo on their report. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you how to do that one at least. You'll see there's a little arrow here, right here. If you click this, you can go ahead to the location where you have your logo on your computer, whether it be an image file, bitmap, and then go ahead and select that from its location. And if we do a print preview of that, you'll see now that we've added our logo to our report and it's on there and ready to go. So don't be scared to try any of the things that you've seen here on the report creator. There's a lot of room for creativity, so you can start with the basics and just take an existing report, or you can go from scratch and create something entirely unique for your company.